There. Going, we're going.
Well, welcome. I think we got a preview of the website there for a minute. You got to see what that looks like. Welcome everybody to YouTube because Facebook was not working. So I apologize to everybody out there on Facebook. We'll put out a couple notes that say, come over to YouTube and give people a couple seconds. If anybody's on there, you can go ahead and let them know we're over on YouTube. So today we are digging into mobility, PAC mobility, and how do you move safely? So this is something that we've talked about a lot of parts of the brain. Let me see if I can put you guys somewhere else. Talked about a lot of parts of the brain, and this part of the brain is sort of like if you took a slice of the brain from ear to ear almost, just behind your ears, ear to ear, and you kind of lifted it up and you're looking at it in front of you. That top brain, this top brain was healthy before the person died, but this bottom brain is actually after 10 years of living with Alzheimer's. So this chunk of the brain, it kind of shows if you take your two hands and you put your palms just above your ears and you wrap your fingers up to the top, and then instead of just kind of crossing them over, if you kind of stop midline, that's what your brain looks like. It's got two hemispheres. And what's interesting about the way the brain works functionality-wise is the right side of the brain actually controls the left side of the body, and the left side of the brain actually controls the right side of the body. They're switched over for 90% of people. But this functionality of the brain where the wiring goes across to tell your body what to do, it's a pretty big chunk of the brain. And notice down here, what do you see has happened in this brain living with dementia for a long time? Wow.
There.
Not much there. And what's mostly missing? Is it mostly these storage units on the outside edge, the place where you hold the memory of how to do those things, the actual motion, or is it the wiring, the white matter across?
The wiring.
Yeah. So it's not that I can't do a lot of the skills. Now, yes, I can do fewer of them by myself, and I can do fewer of them in general, but it's really hard to get the brain to understand what it is I'm wanting it to do with the body. That's the wiring that's missing there. So if I can get a message across, if I can get emotion started, sometimes I'll trigger that storage cabinet on the outside edge, and it can just open the file and do the thing that's in there. Unfortunately, if we're not sending the right messenger, or if I open the wrong file cabinet, then things get a little confused. And I usually either don't move forward in my sequence, or I can't get started, or I keep going in the same spot, keep going in the same spot, keep walking the same loop. Because I can't figure out where to end. So let's take a look at some ways that PAC has figured out how to tap into the appropriate file cabinet. So here's just a look at the gems of what's possible at the different gem states. So for sapphires, our body skills sustain but slower. Diamonds, oof, detail not as good, but globally still pretty skilled with this body, the body skills. Emerald's better with dominant side, but making some errors. Maybe having trouble with those buttons, the things that take a little bit more fine motor and across the body skill are getting a little bit more and more difficult. Amber, strong more than skilled, so I've got a lot of strength, but I do still have some skill. I have some use of things, but it's easier to take things apart than put things together. Ruby, whew, my skills are mostly strength now. My hands are strength, my feet are strength, my mouth is strength. My whole body is not segmented. The front is better than the back. I can't really do a lot back there. And Pearl's pretty reflexive, and often this is where you see a lot of the contractures happening. So for just a moment, we have a partner pair there. Beth is available with a partner. And we're going to take a look at what does it look like when we can close the loop. So what happens when our brains are missing that wiring is it's not giving a message across. So she's got a partner there, and Beth, you can choose who's going to be the doer and who's going to be the receiver.
You want to be the receiver? So I do, or you want to do to be?
You can do it to me.
Okay.
Okay. So Olivia is going to close her eyes, and she is going to figure out the moment by opening her mouth when Beth is going to give her a bite to eat. Yeah, she's going to use a pen or a spoon or something. There you go. So Olivia, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to pretend that she's going to give you a bite. So right now, how's that going, Olivia?
I can't see and she's poking me.
Oh, shoot. So she's just poking you is the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens with positive approach to care is we've actually found, Teepa and team have created this really cool skill called hand under hand. And there's an article from July of 2019 that talks about standing up using hand under hand. Here's an example of hand under hand. Our hands are in hand under hand. I am supporting Teepa. And so Beth is going to try that out, because what that does, what's really cool about that, is it takes the wiring that's missing and it connects my skilled fingers. So Beth now has skilled fingers. For the first 3 fingers are skilled. And Olivia has strength and she can hold on to Beth. And it magically creates that white matter, that wiring across, because Beth's brain knows what to do with the object in her hand. So go ahead and close your eyes again, Olivia, and we'll see if you can predict the moment. Aha! Without sight at all, what happens for you, Olivia?
I'm able to tell when it's gonna go into my mouth or close to it. And
Does your brain kind of know what you're doing?
Yes.
You normally wouldn't open your mouth for a pin coming at you.
No.
Why are you doing that? What does it feel like you're doing when your hand is doing the thing that Beth is doing?
It feels like I'm putting something like to my mouth that I should be eating.
Ah, it feels like you're about to eat. Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being our visual for the day. I appreciate that. So this thing called hand under hand is not the easiest skill to master. However, if you can master it, as Olivia said, it kind of makes it feel like you're doing it yourself. So the thing that we're going to try out today, and if you don't have a partner like Olivia, you can make your own partner. I've got a glove filled with rice here. I know a lot of our team have gotten real creative. A ski glove does a good job. Teepa has a whole arm pillow connected to hers. But the goal would be to make sure that you're shaking right to right. So Olivia and Beth will give us a nice demonstration. There we go. And then you scoop as if it's almost a butterfly, right? Like you're making a bird on a shadow puppet. And then your hand goes under the person that you're supporting. And so we're walking through some very old photos here, many, many years ago, where Teepa was practicing this approach and refining it. So this is the positive physical approach. And you can see here, it starts from out front, and we've talked about visual changes, and we'll talk more about them on another day. To the side, which is still sort of out in front, then getting low, making eye contact, making sure that you're connected. Then really making an offer of a hand to see if you can get touch. And then sliding into hand under hand for guided walking, coming to stand, or coming to sit. And so all of those things, it's a little hard to see the hand under hand. So I've got, thanks Olivia and Beth, I see that they have gotten themselves in position to do a little demo of some mobility work. So if you will, Carrie, make sure that they are nice and large on the recording piece, and then we'll walk it through. Great. Okay, cool. So Beth is coming in from the front. She's offered her hand. It's a little bit hard because their space is a little bit different. There you go. Normal handshake, and then slide into hand under hand. And then she's moving in closer to the side and down so Olivia can see her. Now, if she wants to get Olivia to stand up, normally pulling someone by the arm is not actually how we stand up. And it actually, what Olivia is showing is that it actually makes you want to pull back rather than go with her. So instead, what's the visual cue that's going to help the brain that's missing that wiring make the connection? Cool, leaning forward first, then Beth's all nice and low. And then as she leans closer and closer forward, she actually stands up all on her own.
Olivia's very skilled.
She's very skilled. So that was our skill today. Thanks, Beth and Olivia. You guys are champions. Really appreciate that. Our skills today were using hand under hand for mobility. It's a safety measure, but it's also a connective tissue helper. So all that white matter that I no longer have, now I've got more support to get from one place to the other. So, all right, let's see. Oh, they can only see me. Shoot. Okay, well.
Should we try it again real quickly?
Let's try it again really quickly.
And if
Carrie, if you spotlight.
yeah, there we go. All right, let's see if I can get it with the decent lighting.
There we go. All right, we'll get another show. You get another practice run.
Make sure you can actually see the seat.
There we go. All right, so step by step, Beth's gonna do a little rearranging. She had no idea she was gonna do this. She's offering her hand, and Olivia's accepted. And now they did a little simple handshake and getting down to the side. Beth's hand is under Olivia's hand. She's giving her the visual cue to lean, lean, lean. And then nice and low, her hand is on the hip joint around Olivia's back so that she can be supportive. There you go. It's hard to get the angle right. There you go. And she's in supportive stance, and her feet are actually spread apart and wide base so that if Olivia started to topple one way or the other, forward or back, Beth would be able to manage and support rather than topple over with Olivia or just let her fall. So thanks, guys. Let's see, I see we've got Teepa on. Teepa, anything you want to add, or are you not able to speak?
No, I'd say the only thing that if you look at the old pictures when I had dark hair as opposed to now when I have gray hair, and you look my age and I look older, the thing you might notice is I am now much more tuned into where the hand is compared to the hip when we're assisting, so that you try to keep it at about 90 degrees so that the person can push up. If it's up here, then they have to pull up. And one of the biggest mistakes we make is to teach people to pull on things to get up. Once they learn to pull, you're teaching them to water ski. And it means, unfortunately, we start teaching them to lean back to move forward. And so we're actually creating a tug of war. By taking the hand and putting it down, it mimics what you would do with the armrests of a chair. And you can use and it also helps you make sure your feet are under your body. So when you go to stand up, you're pretty well supported. You're not trying to lunge yourself forward on a diagonal. So that's the only thing I would add with the hand under hand support. Nice work, team.
All right, thanks Teepa, and thanks again for another demonstration. We are going to wrap this thing up today. Nice work, everybody. We had a little run through on trying to get it on Facebook, but we'll get there one day, I promise. One day we'll be back on Facebook. Don't forget to check out our website. We have a lot of new cool stuff happening virtually, not least of all our certification courses and some family skills sessions, which still have a little bit of space left in them. So come jump on, join us, and people will take you through some of those skills that she was just showing here. Some of the stuff we've learned over the last few years. So thanks everybody for joining us. We will see you again tomorrow at 5-ish. Beth said we should just make it 5:05 from now on, and that's probably more accurate. And 8 a.m. with Teepa. I think she's been better about being on time. So
Well, this
Thanks,
morning we
everybody.
had problems with Facebook again, so it's recorded. Hopefully it'll go up soon as soon as Carrie can get to it, because we couldn't get on either. It was a
No,
bit of
there
a
you
traffic
go.
jam.
Yep,
What are you gonna do?
I think that's on YouTube already. So in the last hour. So two
Nice
of us on
work.
YouTube today. Excellent.
All right, well, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.